What is up? I'm back again, Morning's Vlog episode 72. I'm cranking these bitches out. I'm just cranking them out. Before I get started with this video, well, first off, let me start off with what I'm reviewing. I'm reviewing Royal Rumble 2001. And this is going to be in line with those videos that I do coming up here. Because I'm going to do WrestleMania 17, WrestleMania 18, WrestleMania 25, and WrestleMania 33. And what I'm going to do is when I do those WrestleManias, before that, I'm going to do that year's Royal Rumble as well. Now, WrestleMania 33's Rumble I already covered. So when I do WrestleMania 33, that'll be in the link below for that. And I might throw in WrestleMania 32, or not WrestleMania 32, but WrestleMania 30, XXX, that one. So, but before I get started with Royal Rumble 2001, I want to briefly talk about something that I forgot to talk about in my last video. And that's the backstage heat that Ronda Rousey is getting from the girls on the roster. Now, I kind of understand it. You know, Ronda comes in. She's got a fucking skyrocket on her ass. Already in a main event program with Triple H and Kurt Angle and Stephanie McMahon. Probably has her own locker room, that type of stuff. More or less the female Brock Lesnar. So I kind of get where the resentment is coming from. But at the same time, Ronda Rousey is bringing more eyes on women wrestling. And if I'm on a roster, I might be a little salty, but at the same time, if Ronda Rousey is putting that many eyeballs on women wrestling, then that's more money in my pocket. So at the end of the day, you know, you can be salty all you want, girls, but Ronda Rousey is bringing more validity to your division, which in turn is going to be more attention on you, more eyes on you, more money in your pocket. So suck it up. All right. So going into the Royal Rumble 2001, this is one of my favorite events, Royal Rumble events of all time. I actually, I had reviewed that. Well, I had wrote my notes for this about a month ago when I was in preparation of getting this show relaunched. I just never got a chance to review it. And I figured since I'm going to do WrestleMania 17, I might as well do this Royal Rumble. All right. Also, the reason why I'm doing 17 and 25 is because of the Houston connection. They're both in Houston. So that's why I'm doing those particular WrestleManias. And then 18, I'll explain why I'm doing WrestleMania 18 when I get to it. And then 33, obviously, I didn't cover that last year, so I'm going to do that one. But anyway, so we kick off with the Dudley Boys taking on the Tag Team Champions, Edge and Christian, for the Tag Team titles. Selling is a dying sport in today's wrestling. There are very few people that sell good. Ziggler's a good seller. Randy Orton sells good. And those are two right off the top of my head. Shinsuke Nakamura, too, is a good seller. Like when he hurt his knee in his match with Bobby Roode at TNA. Or TNA. TNA. NXT. He did a really good job of selling his knee. The Dudleys did a wonderful job of selling their concussions. They were attacked on Raw with chairs to the back of their head, and they were attacked again on SmackDown. And they had kayfabe concussions. And it's just amazing to me, and I think I wrote this down. It's amazing what the WWE, like, you would never see a concussion angle nowadays. You would never see that. And, you know, you got China wrestling with a broken neck, kayfabe. You got the Dudleys wrestling with kayfabe concussions. Like, shit like that you would never see in the WWE today, and it's so amazing. But they ran a concussion angle, and the Dudleys did a good job of selling their heads. They would hold their heads whenever they got hit. When Devon got hit, Bubba Ray held his head for Devon. Like, they did an amazing job of selling their concussions. I really enjoyed that. One thing I've always wondered is, why is the wasa legal? Why is that legal? It's a headbutt to the groin. It's a headbutt to the groin. It is no different than a punch to the groin or a kick to the groin. But headbutts to the groin are illegal. I don't get it. Anyway, the Dudleys win. It's a feel-good moment. They win the tag titles. And part of the reason why Edge and Christian were tag team champions so damn much is because they lost the belt every time they got it. I think at that point they were like 7-time tag champions. Like they had lost it to The Rock and The Undertaker at one point. They lost it to the Dudley Boys and they lost it to The Undertaker and Kane. They kept losing the damn things. They lost it to the Hardys last year. Like, it was crazy. So we go backstage, and I will admit that Stephanie's acting today is better, but her acting back then was absolutely horrible. The Drew Carey segment was just, man, I think the acting on all their parts were horrible. Triple H, Stephanie, and Drew was just cringeworthy, to be honest. You know, Drew's like, hey, you know, I'm a big fan of Vince McMahon. And, of course, Drew Carey was promoting his pay-per-view, the Improv show that he had that next week. And I swear to God, in this 5 minutes alone, he said that like 500 times. Oh, my improv special. Vince McMahon knows how to do pay-per-view. And, yeah, so Drew Carey, Stephanie McMahon sends Drew Carey to Trish Stratus' locker room. And that's the end of that segment. We go backstage. APA is they're discussing their numbers. Bradshaw says, you know, I'll show you mine if you show me yours. And then like little hints, tidbit stuff like that you would not see now in WWE. And Crash Holly says, I'm gonna throw both of you over the top rope. Farouk says, damn, and they call us drunks. Or I think Bradshaw said that, damn, they call us drunks. And Farouk said, I'll be damned. We go to Benoit versus Jericho. This was the match of the night, as if you guys are surprised. I gave Dudley's and Edge and Christian a 3. Like I said, good selling for the concussions. Good back and forth. Good feel-good moment. Good way to spice the crowd up. Which is what you want to do, have a good face pop at the beginning of the night. Benoit and Jericho was fucking insane. I gave that a 4.7. This ladder match is known for the tope shot, where Benoit goes for the suicide dive and Jericho cracks him with a chair. That was good. Benoit lawn darted the ladder into Jericho. Benoit fell off the ladder with his leg caught in the ladder. Oh, man, just so many spots. This is also known for the octopus spot where Jericho gets him in, like, well, it's an octopus. He stretches his legs out, puts his legs underneath Benoit's arms, and stretches them over the top of the ladder. That's a good spot. Benoit falls over backwards. King drops this line in these ladder matches that I've hated ever since. Every ladder match, King slides this in here. There's always like the aerial shot of something happening. And King called it the Wile E. Coyote cam, and I fucking hate that. And I think maybe I just hate it because King says it all the time. But yeah, Benoit had a headbutt off the ladder. It was madness. Absolutely madness. Benoit got Jericho in the crossface. Jerry Lawler screams out, it's over, it's over. JR says, no, you dumbass. He doesn't say that, but under his breath he does. Or in his mind, he probably says that. No, King, you dumbass. It's a ladder match. You can't win by submission. But you can incapacitate your opponent, which that didn't work. Jericho ended up winning. So then we go backstage, and Drew Carey is, we don't see Drew Carey, but Vince McMahon approaches, is this? Yeah, this is it. Okay, so Vince finds Drew Carey in Trish Stratus' locker room. And Vince noticeably looks jealous of the fact that he's flirting with Trish Stratus. So Vince says, instead of just getting angry about it, he says, you know, I won the Royal Rumble 2 years ago. And you know what would be a good way to pop a buy right for your pay-per-view? If Drew Carey entered the Royal Rumble. And Trish says, you know, I'd be impressed by that. But Drew says, oh, am I going to get hurt? Vince says, no, you'll be all right, pal. Ha, 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 ha. So Drew Carey is in the Royal Rumble now. And I'll get to that when I get to the Rumble match. We go to another backstage promo. And I don't know what it was with these backstage promos, but just the acting was just horrible. Chyna's like, it was Chyna and Billy Gunn. Billy's Gunn's like, no, don't do it, Chyna. Your neck's hurt. Chyna says, I'm going to be fine. I threw Ivory around like a rag doll. Billy says, no, but your neck. Chyna says, no, worry about the 29 other men you got to face tonight. Horrible acting. Horrible acting is horrible. Moving on. Chyna versus Ivory. This got a 1.5. Chyna dominates the whole match. They brawl on the outside of the ring. Chyna takes out Steven Richards. I mean, I don't think Ivory gets a lick of offense in this match. And you can take my review of this match and just edit and cut it and dub it over my review for Chyna and Ivory for WrestleMania 17 because it's essentially the same match. With the exception of RGC being banned from ringside at WrestleMania. But Chyna dominates. Actually, Ivory does get some offense in at WrestleMania. But anyway, Chyna dominates this entire match. She does the handspring elbow thing in the corner. And as she lands, Chyna hits the mat and appears to be paralyzed. And Ivory covers her for the 1, 2, 3. Again, you would not see shit like this in today's WWE. Absolutely not. That being said, Chyna's selling was awesome. Like, her arm stayed in, like, this position as she was landing on the mat. Like, she didn't move it at all. Her body was as stiff as a board. All she was moving was her eyes. She wasn't moving her head at all. Chyna did a wonderful job of selling this neck injury. I mean, she did a shit of a job of selling this shit. We go out of that to Triple H and Kurt Angle. There was another backstage segment with Drew Carey. I'm not going to get into it because these backstage segments tonight were just horrible. I gave this match a 3, but here's what I had a problem with here in this Triple H versus Kurt Angle match. The hype video for it basically showed Triple H, Kurt Angle. I'm sorry, the hype video. It barely showed Triple H and Kurt Angle. The hype video was basically Stephanie McMahon and Trish Stratus and Vince McMahon. That was it. That was the bulk of this match. It was about Vince McMahon's love affair with Trish Stratus and Stephanie McMahon being jealous about it. Which is moronic to me. I mean, you have the WWF title with Triple H and Kurt Angle, and it's not even your backstory. The Triple H and Kurt Angle for the WWF title, that's the backstory. The main story is what I just mentioned. Vince McMahon's love affair with Trish Stratus and Stephanie McMahon being jealous about it. So somehow they shoehorn the WWF title into this by Trish offering to be Kurt Angle's manager to counteract Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. So that's how they shoehorn the WWF title into this. I don't remember how Triple H became number 1 contender. I know, like, Austin was number 1 contender for the title at one point, and then Triple H screwed him out of that. But out of that, I don't know how Triple H became number 1 contender. I think Vince McMahon just randomly announced it on an episode of SmackDown. So that's my problem with this match, is that the WWF title was the backstory. And plus you had heel versus heel. So that being said, it was still a good match. I'm not taking anything away from how good the match was. But you had the dynamic of heel versus heel. I think fans slightly cheered Triple H more just because Kurt Angle was much easier to hate. But as a fan, who am I supposed to cheer for? Am I supposed to cheer for Triple H, who screwed Austin out of the WWF title? Or am I supposed to cheer for this dork Kurt Angle? Like, that being said, this is one of the few times where a heel versus heel match actually was a great match. But again, that whole Stephanie McMahon, Trish Stratus, Vince McMahon bullshit came into play. Because Trish and Stephanie got into it, then Vince came out and separated the two. And meanwhile, Triple H and Kurt Angle are just taking a nap. I mean, the camera is on these 3 idiots bumbling around the ring. The referee gets taken out. Stone Cold comes out, hits the stunner on Triple H, hits him with the belt, then hits a stunner. Kurt Angle covers him for the 1-2-3. I gave this match a 3, and I wanted to score it higher, but I just couldn't because of all the bullshit with Vince and Trish and Stephanie. The interference from Stone Cold, which was needed for their match at No Way Out, but it was just way too much going on. And Triple H and Kurt Angle for the WWF title was not the focal point, which it should have been. That being said, Triple H and Kurt Angle are great workers, phenomenal workers, and that's why I give that match a 3. Which is another reason why I think Triple H and Kurt Angle is being wasted in this mixed tag match at WrestleMania. I really think it should just be Ronda Rousey versus Stephanie McMahon with their men and their corners. But that's neither here nor there. The Rumble match. I've said in other Rumble videos that it's hard to rate Rumble matches. It's just because it's so much going on. But that being said, I gave this Rumble a 4. All the other Rumbles I've ever done, I've given a 3 to. I gave this one a 4 because you had a deep, really good, it was star-studded Undertaker, Kane, Rock, Austin, the Honky Tonk Man. I'm just playing, but he wasn't the match. I think you had your mid-cards. You had the Hardys at the APA. You had RTC, but you had Venus, Val Venus, Godfather, Bull Buchanan. You had Rikishi. You had the return of Haku. This Rumble was just star-studded as hell. You had a hardcore portion of the Royal Rumble where it was just weapons and trash cans and trash can lids and bowling balls and just any other type of random inanimate object in the ring. Which leads me to your hardcore wrestlers. You had Crash Holly, you had Hardcore Holly, you had Al Snow, Steve Blackman. So you had that hardcore portion of the Rumble, which was great. Big Show's surprise return, where he legitimately got eliminated by The Rock this time, and not sort of eliminated by The Rock. Big Show put Rock through a table. I mean, it was crazy. Kane setting a record, which will be broken by Roman Reigns, but at the time, he set a record of eliminating 11 people. That's more than a third of the Rumble. He had an awesome showdown with Austin and Rock, where Austin's bleeding and Rock is just standing there. You have your WrestleMania main event right there, facing off in the Rumble. Another moment I thought was funny, where Scotty 2 Hotty came out, and Undertaker and Kane eliminated everybody in the Rumble. And Undertaker and Kane are just standing there waiting for Scotty 2 Hotty. And man, the look on Scotty's face was priceless there. That was great. The ending sequence was awesome. You had Stone Cold and Kane. Stone Cold just bleeding after being attacked by Triple H in the entranceway. And he slugged it out with Kane. And Austin, you could see the desperation in his face and his body language and his actions. He low-blowed Kane, picked up a chair, hit Kane in the head 3 times with a chair, and clotheslined him out to Rumble. That was Austin's 3rd Rumble win. Everything about this Rumble was everything that you could expect in that time frame of the WWE, and it's probably why it probably is my favorite. It is without a doubt my favorite Rumble match of all time. It's the Royal Rumble 2001. That match got a 4. Go over my ratings again. Tag title match with the Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian got a 3. Benoit and Jericho got a 4.7. China and Ivory got a 1.5. It was barely a match. Triple H and Angle got a 3. That should have been higher had it not had all the bullshit interference. And then the Rumble match got a 4. Average it out, you get a 3.2. This is one of my favorite Rumble events of all time. And one of the next videos I do will be that year's WrestleMania 17, which is regarded as one of the best WrestleManias of all time, and I will explain in detail why when I do that review. This has been episode 72. I've cranked out 2 episodes in one night. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. It's been episode 72. I'm Warren Freeman. I'm your boy. It's Warren's Vlog. I'm signing off.